Hey, what's going on? It's Bill Burr, and it's time for the Monday morning podcast for Monday. Monday. Hey, July 11th, 2022. How are you? You doing all right, man? It's fucking 6:13 a.m. Bill, what are you doing up so fucking early? It's actually Sunday. Why am I up? Because for whatever reason, I was laying in bed at I don't know what time, 5-ish, and one of my smoke alarms out of nowhere just went. My wife wakes up. She's like, "Oh my God, I think the battery's low in one of the smoke alarms." And I'm thinking, like, was that the smoke alarm or the house alarm? You know, and then I got to lay there thinking to myself, why did I stop going to the dojo in fucking 1999? Why did I only go 4 times? You know, I could go down there like passenger 57 and just handle this shit, but I stopped going. And then I was just up. So I figured, hey, man, I'm up, man. Fuck it. Why not fucking go out goddamn fucking garage? Knock out the podcast. Well, I can only do the first half of it because it's so early. I don't have your guys' questions for the week. You know, where you ask me advice because you're too cheap to get a therapist. I know what you're up to. Gas prices go up. Something has to be cut. And what do you cut first? What's one of the first things you cut? Your own mental health. I know what I do. Instead of talking to this therapist who's been trained professionally, I'm going to talk to a bald orange man who has no psychology background whatsoever. He even uses the word psychology. That probably wasn't even the right fucking word. I fucking hated those words before spell check. Psychology, psychological, psycho, syphilis. I couldn't fucking spell any of those goddamn words. You just sit there, what is it? It's P-S-Y-C-H. Psych, right? That's what it was. And then you had to go the rest of the way. And there was, is there one L? Is there 2? Am I going to pass this class? Do I need this class? Is this what the fuck I want to do? Look at that hot chick over there. Why don't I just walk up? Oh, that's right. Because I'm the color of Donald Trump's tie. I don't know what I'm talking about. Sorry. Anyway, I had a fucking crazy day yesterday. Just a crazy day. I absolutely fucking crushed it as a father, but then I flipped out about something and I fucking ruined it. You know? These fucking assholes. I went to Home Depot. You know that fucking, you know? That's like the perfect, whoever scored that commercial for Home Depot, just that sound. It makes you feel like you know how to fix shit. Right? Like, get down here and, you know, go buy that crescent wrench and go fix your fucking sink. So I went down there, like the house husband I am, to buy a vacuum cleaner. That's what I went. I didn't go down there to get a fucking Midas saw, right? To get some new drill bits. To get a carbon fiber fucking hammer. I didn't go down there for that shit. I went down there to buy a vacuum cleaner for my garage. Because I'm a married man. That's where I live. That's my I like the garage. I also like being married, by the way. I do. But, you know, I don't know that I could be married without a garage. I think those two go hand in hand. I think the second you say I do, right, she gets all your money and you get a garage, and then that works. Then it just works, and all you do is keep them happy, and your happiness is that they're not mad at you. No, I'm kidding. My wife actually made me laugh my fucking ass off before I even got out of bed yesterday. I said something stupid to her, and she just fucking trashed me. And I was laughing, like, solid laugh for like fucking 2 straight minutes, to the point I got her to start, she stopped being mad at me. I don't know what the fuck. And she had I always say that she's mad at me, but I also then, I never really quite say what I did to make her that way. What is called is a one-side story, which is what, hairy-legged white chicks really enjoy on social media. The old one-sided story. I'm going to say what happened, and then that's going to be it, because that's what happened. Because I'm white and have a vagina. That'd be a good name for a fucking sports team, the White Vaginas. That probably comes off as probably racist on some level. Like, not racist, it comes off as white supremacy. Can you imagine if you had just like just a racist league? The supremacists. Instead of the White Sox, oh, shut up, Bill. All right, anyway, plowing ahead. It was a bad idea for a sketch even in the 70s. So I just had a great fucking day, I just hung out with my kids all day. I was just listening to my daughter talk and looking at her and just, they make like these cognitive leaps where like the conversation all of a sudden out of nowhere is just like, and you always realize it like usually after you walked away like, wait a minute, wow, that was a way beyond conversation that I've had with my kid since ever, God, I'm stupid. I literally can't even communicate my fucking thoughts. Maybe if it feels like she's making cognitive leaps because I'm so fucking stupid. Maybe that's what it is. Yeah, so I was just talking. I was like literally like just taking her in. You ever have a moment in your life you're like, I'm gonna think about this in the future. And you realize it like in the fucking moment. Those are always great if you can do that. So I was doing that, and I got this new thing with my son because he has like these meltdowns. He's 2 years old. He just fucking like, and it's not the terrible twos, like they say. He's been doing it since he was 1. He just, when he gets something in his hand that he wants, and he doesn't want you to get it, like, first of all, he puts a death grip on it, and he screams like a fucking wild man. So, the way I grew up is what you do as a dad then. All the dads in my neighborhood, my dad would all be like, hey, knock it off! Start fucking yelling at a baby. Start yelling at a toddler like it cut you off in traffic. That's just how dads were back then. That's what you did. You had bass in your voice, and you fucking used it. You turned it up to 11, and you screamed at a fucking 1 or 2 year old, and you made him pee a little bit, and then they gave up the fucking Frisbee or whatever the hell they had back in the 70s, right? But, I see how I turned out, and I'm like, okay, maybe that's not a good approach. So I do this thing that I literally just rub his head. I'm like, buddy, you can't do this. You can't throw stuff at your sister. You can't push your mom. Like he gets mad, and he wanted to sit in my car, right? Dad has car. And I was like, buddy, I have to get ready to, I don't know what the fuck we were doing. So I said, I'll do it in a minute. And he's like, no. And I closed the door, and he was like yanking on the door. And I'm like, buddy, relax. And then he just ran at me, screaming with both arms over his head. And just ran into my leg. Like he just threw himself into me. And then he fell down and he started crying. And I just got this thing, I just sort of soothe him. And it's really been working. I'm like, buddy, you can't do that. Just relax. It's going to be fine. Then he goes like, just big little kid tears. Yeah, we're starting to, turn the corner with him, where I noticed yesterday it only happened a couple times where it was like, I told you I was a little embarrassed when I was coming back from France, as far as like, all right, I'm too much of a pushover here with my kid. And I started to turn it around on the flight where, it's funny, little kids, they know when you're not fucking around. Even if you're a pushover, they know when you're serious. And they might push back a little bit, but then they're kind of like, all right, I think I'm pushing the privileges here. So, I had a great day, like hanging out with him, like playing catch with him. I haven't even had to teach him how to play catch. He just can fucking do it. It's amazing. And my daughter threw a spiral with a football yesterday. I freaked the fuck out. And I was getting along with my wife, but I just kept having these fucking little outbursts during the day. And I'm like, why is my temper back like this? And I think I'm just stressing out about, just all the work I got in front of me and all of that shit. And also, you know what it is I just kind of hit the wall with like just substances and shit. And I'm like, what am I doing? I'm fucking drinking coffee every day now. When the fuck did I ever drink coffee? I'm smoking cigars like it's going out of style. And, I'm back to fucking smoking weed or eating a gummy like every fucking day. And I was just like, you know what? Fuck this. Fuck all of this shit. I'm not doing any of this shit. I just shut it off. And I'm not going to lie to you. The first 2-3 days is always hard. And then now I'm on the 4th day. And I'm just like, whatevs, man. See, that's how I know I'm not like a fucking, I feel like addiction is a spectrum. You know what I mean? When I grew up, they used to be like, you're either a fucking addict or you're not. You either have the disease or you don't. I don't believe that. I feel like there's all different levels of it. I've been to AA meetings. I got arrested for drinking and driving and was required to go to 2 of those. And I'll never forget those meetings. I always remember this thinking like, I drink. I don't fucking drink. These people are out of their fucking mind. They're out of their fucking minds. I was joking with a buddy of mine yesterday. It's like, I went to those meetings. I just didn't relate to them. Bunch of fucking yellow-fingered donut eaters. Everything that they did is, they're going to smoke cigarettes. They smoked it all the way down to their fucking, to the point their fingers were brown and yellow. I never saw so many brown and yellow fucking fingers in my life. And just scarfing down donuts. Anything to get a rush. To get what was fucking hilarious is we're all up to, I'm fucking sober. I didn't want to be in the back like, you're still killing yourself. You're fucking smoking a pack of cigarettes during the meeting and you're filling yourself up with fucking sugar. Yeah, you won't die of cirrhosis of the liver, but you'll die of heart disease. And then all those fucking friends of Bill will be like, it was a success. He realized he was powerless against his fucking... They should have a room right next to it, Cigarettes and Donuts Anonymous. I actually don't think it's like that anymore. I literally went to those meetings like fucking over 30 years ago. How fast time's going by. So anyway, I think because I, just getting these substances out, I just been a little fucking short fuse. And I got my truck washed. And, I had some work done in the garage. And, they had cut a little bit of the ceiling out. And they got this fucking dust all over the place. By the way, I love when somebody comes over to your fucking house to fix something. And if you have tools lying around, they just start using them. You know what I mean? Like I had a ladder in the garage and I see these footprints. And these guys just fucking use the ladder. You know what I mean? Like all of my shit gets drafted into their little fucking war they have to fight. Like fixing things. Bring your own fucking tools. Use your own fucking tools, you cunts. They do it all the fucking time. They're fucking, I swear to God. And then another thing that I love too is they don't give a fuck. They just leave the door open because they're walking in and out. They can't open and close the door. You get all kinds of flies in the fucking house. They're fucking animals. They come in like fucking grizzly bears. Or maybe I just feel emasculated that I don't know how to fix it. But I'm just going to make it be about that they used my ladder and left the door open. Oh, I didn't even finish the fucking story. Oh, so anyway, so I get my truck washed. So I'm like, well, I want it to stay looking shiny and new. Come aboard. It's my F100. It shifts on the column. That's what I hang my manhood on. It shifts on the column. So I'm like, all right, I need to fucking wash the tap, the car cover there, so I can keep this thing looking good, right? So I washed the thing. It's a big, stupid, bulky fucking thing, and I know good and goddamn well you can wash a car cover, you can't dry it unless you have like some industrial level giant fucking, a dryer the size of a fucking refrigerator, which obviously I don't. So I just hang it off the back porch. I let it dry old style. Like, step right up, come and see the greatest show on earth, right? Like the old days, where the ladies would be out there hanging their fucking husbands' wife beaters, wiping their tears and mascara off the front of it. They would fucking dry it in the alleys. I don't even know if they would do that. I just seen enough movies where that's where they did it. That's like one of those things, like, like how Hollywood really affects your perception of people who aren't white. You know what I mean? Ever since I've been like reading these fucking books and shit, it's just like, I didn't know people acted like that. I thought it was like it was in the movies, right? How they have like Native Americans, making these stupid fucking songs that white people came up with. Or how they acted like fucking, like black people, like all slaves were just scared shitless of fucking white people. And then you read these books, and they weren't. They would give white people shit, after a while, like they would just, it's just like anything. You can push somebody so far before they're like, go fuck yourself. They're fucking people. I don't know if that made sense. But anyway, plowing ahead here. I don't know what the hell this has to do with the fucking tarp. But whatever. It's early in the morning. I got woken up by a smoke alarm. Oh, I know what it was. I was reading that Wilmington book. And it was like the cop would come down and tell the black people, all right, you got to disperse. They're like, fuck you, we're not going anywhere. We're free. And I'm like, they said that in the 1890s? And it's like, well, yeah, why wouldn't they? People have been saying, fuck you, I'm not going anywhere since the goddamn caveman days. But once somebody makes a movie who doesn't know what they're talking about, that becomes your reference. Because I got to be honest with you. I lived in New York for 12 years. I never heard one New Yorker go, oh, I'm walking here. Never saw that. I never heard any Italian go, oh, other than on The Sopranos. And I'm not shitting on that show. I'm just saying. And I'm not saying it didn't fucking happen. I'm just saying I know a lot of Italians from New York. And I've never heard them go, oh! Although I did hear forget about it. Everybody said forget about it. Until Donnie Brasco came out, and then it fucking ruined it. That ruined that, because then all like the fucking cinephiles, if you would say it, yeah, that's, have you gone over to, so-and-so restaurant? Is it good? Oh, forget about it, right? Everybody said that, right? And then they would go, forget about it. And you'd be like, all right, it's over. It's over. That movie ended it. So my truck cover dries. And I bring it out to the garage. I put the gay in garage, by the way. Because I don't know how to fix anything, right? Not saying that gay people can't be handy. All right? And I did mean that in a sexual way. So I go out there with the fucking top. And this happens to me every time I put this fucking stupid tarp on. It's an all black, soft as a horse's muzzle. All right? There's a fucking reference for you. And every time I go to put it on, I can't figure out which is the front and which is the back because there's nothing for the mirrors. It's just one of those ones that just goes right over the truck like fucking when you do paper and somebody else throws out rock, right? Just right on top like that. Like a spider on a bug there, right? So, I go to put it on, and of course, it's not fucking working. I'm looking for the fucking hole that I cut for the antenna, and I don't know if moths got at it. There's a bunch of fucking little microscopic little holes. I can't find it, and dude, I fucking had such a meltdown. So mad at myself. It's like every time I put this fucking thing on, I have to do it like 15 fucking times. Why don't I just take a magic marker out and write front on the front? Why don't I just fucking do that? So I got this piece of shit fucking workout little bench in my garage. And I swear to God, if you even look at the thing, one of the legs collapses. And they got these things that you stick in through the little holes to make sure it doesn't do it, but it doesn't fit. Or I mean, I don't know. I don't know what I'm doing wrong with the thing. It's just this classic, made in China ripoff of something that should have been made in Mexico, because that's wherever all of our shit is. It's either in China or Mexico, I feel. So, I threw that across the garage. Because what ended up happening was, in my frustration of taking it off again, I fucking yanked it up, and I hit the ceiling, which is dusty from the guys fucking cutting it, and it made the tarp dirty. I didn't realize it, the car cover, and I put it on my truck, and I got my truck dirty. I was just like I was so fucking upset with myself that I was literally like, fuck this. I go inside and I go, I'm getting that giant white piece of paper, and I am just fucking writing front on the front of this fucking thing. When I finally got it together, and I wrote it on a piece of paper, and then I taped it to the front, and I'm thinking like, well, what's going to happen when I go to wash this thing? And I got this piece of pen. I'm like, I'll fucking take it off. I was upset. So I go in to our copier little thing, right? To get the piece of fucking paper. And of course, there's like toys on top of the copier, and one of them had like a little bag or whatever. And I was just thinking I would just lift it up, but I don't even know why I would even lift it up. I don't know why I even did that. And the bag tipped over, and like 40,000 fucking things, this little plastic Easter egg looking thing spilt out. And I just snapped. I go, what the fucking fuck? And I just lost my shit. Ever so briefly. But that was just enough to fuck the whole day up. Right? Then I go over. And by the way, if you're an aunt or an uncle, however you're supposed to say it, right? And you buy toys for your niece or nephews that has 5,000 fucking pieces, you're a fucking asshole. Especially if you don't have kids. If you don't have fucking kids, I don't look at that as an excuse. That's your passive-aggressive thing. You're upset because you don't have fucking kids. You want kids and you don't have kids, so now you're going to try to make my fucking life miserable by buying them a fucking thing that has like 50,000 fucking pieces to it. And the only time all those 50,000 pieces are going to be all together is the first time I open the box. And then after that, they're going to be all over the fucking house, right? Oh, Billy knows substances. He's on one today, baby. So I go over to the counter and I write front in big fat fucking letters with the Sharpie, and I start coloring it in, and I color in the F. I get halfway through the R, and I said, oh no. Is this going through the paper and onto my counter? And I looked through, and sure enough, it did. And I was like, what? This is just one of these fucking days, right? So now I'm fucking scrubbing it, and of course it's not coming off, right? And I deliberately got the granite countertops because those other ones, the marble ones, it's just whatever gets in them, it just absorbs it into it, and you can't get it out. It's like stuck in there like that guy under the ice in The Omen, right? So I'm scrubbing it, it's not coming off. Dishwashing thing, I finally get it to fucking come off. And I'm just like, this fucking day, right? Oh, I didn't even tell you what happened. I bought a fucking shop vac at Home Depot. This is what really set me off. Is when I bought it, I saw a little piece of tape over the flap that opens the box. I'm like, wait, did somebody return this thing? And I was already standing in the line. I turn around, there's 10 people behind me. I'm like, I'm not going back. I'm sure it's fine. I bring the fucking thing home. It looks like somebody vacuumed out like a fucking barn-find piece of shit car with a mouse nest in it. The thing was filthy. It was fucking filthy. So now I got to go back, back to fucking Home Depot. And I know what these cunts are going to say to me. They're going to say, well, how do we know you didn't do that? It's like, buddy, I'm not trying to fucking return it. I'm trying to exchange it. And at some point, I'm going to drop the F-bomb, and I already know what I'm going to do. I'm going to leave that fucking thing with them and be like, this is my gift to you. You can put it back on the shelves dirty like you did before. Like, this is why you go to mom and pop. You can't win. You go to a mom and pop thing, and they got like fucking 2 options. Or you go to Home Depot, they got a million options and 2 employees. And you go and buy something that somebody already fucking used and returned. I didn't even think it had the fucking filter in it. So, Billy's on edge, right? So I fucking come back out. This has a happy ending, by the way. I fucking taped this giant white thing that says front. Like there's no fucking way I can ever screw this up again. To the front of it. Okay? Oh my God, this shit I was giving myself. It's like, why don't you write front on it? Why do you go through this every time? It's like, why don't you save any of your fucking passwords for your fucking accounts on the internet? Why do you set yourself up for this? Why are you such an ADD fucking idiot, right? So I was like, all right, do I really want to bring this energy back into the house again? No, I do not. So I closed the fucking garage and I sat down and I played my drums, which I've been doing because I've had a little bit more time now. So I'm getting towards the end of this edit of this movie that I think is going to be fucking great. I'm very excited about it. I sat down and played fucking drums. And I'm going to tell you this, dude. My fucking right foot was on fire. I was so fucking mad that I didn't even have my cell phone. I didn't give a fuck. And I started playing like these Bonham phrases. And I think I was the closest to playing Good Times, Bad Times. I was fucking burning through it. And I was also fucking with that lick he does on I Can't Quit You, Babe. Where it's a 16th note triplet followed by like 3 in a row. It's like gong gong good dad zip it dum ba 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 boom. It's that ba 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 boom that I could never get after, and I started fucking with that, and I just kind of came up with this this bass drum exercise going in and out of 3 in a row and 16th note triplets, which is just like a technique thing. But if you do the 2 separately, when you try to do one after another, up to tempo, it always falls apart. And then you get upset and you'd be like, I'm never going to be able to do it. As opposed to just trying to work on going in and out of both of them at a tempo you can handle. That's what I started doing. And I was so fucking mad. Not to mention warmed up, walking back, and forth from the fucking house. The blood was flowing, so the limbs weren't cold. I fucking crushed it. So, I was psyched about that. I came inside, apologized to my wife. I said, sorry, I screamed, fuck, and goddamn Home Depot orange fucking cunts. I'm sorry I yelled that in the kitchen. And she's just looking at me like she should be looking at me. And I'm like, I said, all right, I'm going to do stand-up tonight. I'm going to give you a break from me. And she just starts laughing. So I ended up going out and I went down to the Comedy Store and I went up and I just went up in front of like this absolutely perfect crowd. They were so much fucking fun and I tried a few new things. I talked about my day with the goddamn shop vac and I had one of those sets where it was just every reason why I did stand-up. And they would ask me if I wanted to go up in this other room. And I said yes before that set. And then after the set, I was just like, I'm good. It's not going to get better than that. I'm not going to fucking chase it. And so it did have a nice ending there. And then I, got my wife something to eat on the way home. And everything was good. So today, I'm going to be hanging out with my son because my wife's having a, mother-daughter day with my daughter. So I'll probably take my son up and down the driveway in the truck We'll play catch. Maybe go to the park. Something like that. It's going to be fucking awesome. Oh, dude, I didn't even bring up the fucking Red Sox-Yankees series. I watched every goddamn inning of that so far. Well, mostly, when I wasn't fucking walking in and out of the house screaming about fucking Home Depot. I don't know if you guys watch these fucking games. Can you ever type your password in right the first time? Does that ever happen? Doesn't ever happen for me, I don't feel. Fucking Red Sox, man. First of all, the Yankees are fucking unbelievable. I mean, Jesus Christ. They're on a tear here. But the great thing is all we have to do is get the wild card. So I'm kind of hoping that the Yankees win like 130 games and have one of the great, regular seasons of all time, because all that does is work to the Red Sox advantage, because then it's just like they're supposed to win it. So the pressure is on them, and we can come in like the fucking, we kind of backed in, we're playing with house money. So, of course, we go to play the Yankees, and it's just like our entire starting rotation is out. And I'm like, they're going to fucking massacre us. Like, we're starting 4 rookies. We haven't done that in 60 years. 4 games in a row, starting 4 rookies from the Worcester Red Sox. I had no idea Pawtucket shut down. I guess somebody, bought the Pawtucket Red Sox, was trying to get a new stadium, which I don't know what the fuck was wrong with the other stadium. It's a minor league park. Granted, I didn't buy it and see what the plumbing looked like. They fucking, they moved to Worcester. And I got to go to a game out there. So anyways, they bring up like 3 rookies. They're going to have another one today. And the first game, like, I don't know, we get like, we let up a fucking grand slam, I think. It was like 4-0, and then it was like, it was 4-0. And then Devers, of course, comes up, hits a fucking home run. He walked the first time, then hits a home run, makes it 4-2. Then it became 6-2. And then Devers comes up later and hits a 3-run home run to make it 6-5. And I want to say that's how it stayed. It was sort of respectable, 6-5, 7-5. And then the next day we got fucking shelled. Still scored like 5 runs or whatever. I do like that we're scoring runs on them. Like, my fantasy is that fucking, they kick our ass now, and then when we hopefully make the playoffs, we meet them in the playoffs. Sale is back. Evaldi's back. Walker's back. Was it Pavetta? Nick Pavetta's back. And, our bats get hot. But I got to be honest with you, like, the fucking Yankees, it's just like, I mean, I don't know what they're spending their money on. They somehow have a $200 million team, and I don't know anybody on that. I know Judge. Aaron Judge, I know. I know Rizzo's having a good year. And then everybody else, I'm like, who the fuck are these guys? I mean, dude, they had a guy on the mound. He literally looked like a dad from the bleachers. And I don't know what his name is, because the fucking Yankees, they don't have their names on the back of their jerseys. Since way back in the day when they were like the fucking Bronx Bombers, their deal was, we're not putting our names on the back. You know who we are, right? Some fucking like top shelf shit talk, which made sense, back then. I mean, Ruth, Gehrig, DiMaggio, Mickey Mantle, and then all the other guys that Yogi Berra, Whitey Ford, Billy Martin, all of those fucking guys. Don Larson. Right? You didn't need to. But now I'm looking at the Yankees, and it's just like, guys, I don't know who the fuck these people are. All right? There's the internet. There's 1,000 fucking channels. This isn't the 1940s where I'm fucking walking around, painting a fence to get an apple. And I got a bunch of baseball cards, and I'm flipping them in an alley. He's going to be a bonus, baby. Fucking doing that shit. It's like, put your names on the back of your fucking uniforms. So I don't know any of their names, but I will tell you, my favorite fucking Yankee right now is the guy, he covers for Aaron Judge. And they were saying he looks like Don Madden. I think Crawford is his name. They say he looks like Don Mattingly. He goes, no. I'm like, no, he doesn't. He looks like the Gator, man. He looks like fucking Ron Guidry, who I loved when I was growing up, except when he was pitching against us, especially in 78. But, I mean, that guy was just like fucking... Guy weighed like 160 pounds and was just mowing down people. So he's got like this. He looks like a fucking state trooper. Like he's on Reno 911, right? Whatever the fuck that, whatever the hell that name show is, right? He goes up. He's got the old school mustache, no batting gloves. My, that's fucking amazing. Because I saw one of their other guys. It wasn't Aaron Judge. It was somebody else who hits a bunch of home runs, right? Guy hits a bunch of home runs. I think it was a DH. Whatever his fucking name is, right? He goes up, and it's like, the guy's a monster. And he's got like this fucking, like, entire, like, elbow, tricep, forearm, like he's in the medieval manor. He's going to have a sword fight. These fucking guys now, it's ridiculous. They come up there, they're dressed like goddamn gladiators, and they're hanging all over the plate. And God forbid somebody drills them in the back of their fucking ass, right? As opposed to the front of your ass. I was going to say the back and the ass. I got a little tongue-tied there. Then they got to charge the mound like, how dare you hit me? And every time they hit a home run, they stand there staring at it. It's like, I don't understand that shit. I don't get that. He should be able to celebrate what he just did. Yeah, and then the next guy gets fucking drilled in the ribs. That's how it worked. That's how it fucking worked. I love how you're not allowed to do that anymore. Like, you know, but the other person's allowed to have like a borderline Broadway show every time they hit a home run. And I'm not just saying the Yankees do. Obviously, the fucking, you know, I watched Devers just stand there watching his home run. Like, they watch the home run and then they look at the pitcher. It's like you're just begging to get beamed. I mean, what do you do after that? You walk into a bar and grab some guy's fucking girlfriend and kiss her and then stare at her. Then you get punched like, what the fuck was that all about? Yes, that is the social equivalent to watching a home run you just hit off a guy and staring at the pitcher. I believe it is. Okay, that might be a little tone deaf. So anyway, and then yesterday, I'm having like the worst day ever. And then all of a sudden, it you know, I fucking play some drums, right? I'm crushing the 16th, no triplets. The whole day turned around. And then I'm watching the fucking Red Sox. I had to get ready to go out. I jumped in the shower. I missed, you know, it was tie score, it was 3-3, and the Yankees were up. And I'm like, all right, I might miss the top of the ninth, whatever. Shower, shaved the head and everything. I come down, and I'm like, what the fuck? It was 3-3, now it's 5-3. I'm like, these fucking guys, man. They reminded me of the 1998 New York Yankees, where one of the things that I loved about that team was, I don't think I ever saw a team score more goddamn runs with 2 outs. They were just, they were the best fucking team I think I've seen in my lifetime. The 1998 New York Yankees. They were fucking amazing. So, I'm like, God damn it, you know? Like, I'm not one of those sports fans. I just, like, it's like, if you're doing it, you're doing it. So I'm just like, these motherfuckers, God damn it, they're fucking great. So we ended up tying it up in the bottom of the ninth. And anyway, we ended up getting like 2 on or whatever the fuck happened. I don't know. I can't even remember the fucking kids and running in and out and doing all of that shit. All I know is we ended up fucking winning on a walk-off by old Dougie there. Well, all of a sudden I can't remember his fucking name. I think at this point at my age, I need the names on both the home and the away team. Alex Verdugo. And there was 2 outs. We had a guy in second and third. They actually bobbled their third baseman, whatever his fucking name is, the guy who gets into it with the guy in the White Sox, whatever that guy's name is, right? It was potentially a double play ball, and he fielded. He just had a weird thing where his finger got caught in the glove or something like that. Just luck went our way, and runners advanced to second and third. He threw out the guy at first. I think it was Xander Bogaerts, and then Verdugo came up, and I'm thinking there's 2 outs, so anything hit, these guys are running. So a single A single to right could fucking win it. And lo and behold, single to right, which I swear to God, Verdugo stood there and watched that. It's like, will you get to fucking first base? Jesus Christ, you're lugging all that weight down with that giant gold chain. I'm going to get one of those things. I'm going to buy a giant gold chain. Just fucking walk around. After every other joke, I'm going to have to tuck it in. And there was a, walk-off single, and I fucking screamed like we just won a playoff game. So whatever. So we have some other Worcester prospect pitching tonight against the Yankees. I mean, what are the odds we're going to beat that team again? I mean, they're a goddamn buzzsaw. But I got to be honest with you. Like, I don't know where this. I got to look at their payroll. I'm kind of fascinated now. Like how much money are they spending on these guys I never heard of? Obviously, Aaron Judge is like fucking Paul Bunyan. Everybody knows that guy. But all the other ones, I'm kind of like, this looks like a fucking mom and pop team. Like I can't sit here and say this is like a bunch of free agents. They still got that guy from the Marlins. Whatever the hell his name is. I don't fucking know. So this is one of these days where I don't even need reads. I'm just going to run my fucking yap. You know what? I'm going to do a little, the advertising reads here. And then I'm going to, I don't know what I'm going to do. I'm just going to fucking wrap this thing up. I'm going to talk about sports history. How about that? Sports history for 200. Look who it is, everybody. It wouldn't be a Monday morning podcast without old Zip Recruiter. Now, ZipRecruiter wouldn't need to have their name on the back of the jersey. I know who the fuck they are. Nothing is better than dealing with someone who knows how to do their job. Oh, absolutely. Nothing's better than buying a shop vac that's supposed to be brand new and it actually is. Anyway, outstanding talent is crucial for a successful business. Maybe Home Depot could fucking use ZipRecruiter for whoever stocks their goddamn shelves. And if you're hiring, you can find talent for roles like these and more at Zip. When you try it for free at ZipRecruiter.com/Burr. ZipRecruiter uses its powerful technology to find and match the right candidates up with your job. You can easily review these recommended candidates and invite your top choices to apply. Why don't they use ZipRecruiter when they sell people guns? So you have the best you just have normal people that want to shoot a bunch of tin cans in their backyard. Why don't they do that? Additionally, Zip, the devil read, has a complete suite of tools that makes it easy to filter, review, and rate your candidates. 4 to 5 employers who post on ZipRecruiter get a quality candidate within the first day. This is like one of those dating apps. No wonder ZipRecruiter is the number one rated hiring site based on G2 satisfaction ratings, whatever that means, as of January 1st, 2022. I don't know what G2 satisfaction ratings are, but they crushed it. They crushed those ratings. So travel to this easy-to-remember web destination, ZipRecruiter.com/Burr. That's where you can try ZipRecruiter for free. Again, that's ZipRecruiter.com/Burr, BURR, ZipRecruiter. The smartest way to hire. Fuck, I love the ending of that. I love the ending of that copy. That's like old school advertising. Name of the company? Little dramatic pause. But not one that brings tension. A little pause. And then the little slogan. Dunkin' Donuts. Eat it, you fuck. Whatever they used to say. I couldn't think of one. All right, Butcher Box. Eat it, you fuck. That's not a bad slogan. That would make me laugh, and I'd be like, you know what? I kind of got to go into that store and see who owns it. That's like Fat Sal's sandwiches out here. First time I saw it, Fat Sal's, and then underneath it says, we're making sandwiches over here. And I was just like, I have to go in there and get a sandwich. I got to see who runs this place. All right, Butcher Box, everybody. I love ButcherBox, everybody. This summer, add some power players to your grilling lineup with ButcherBox. ButcherBox is a subscription service that delivers high-quality meat, ladies, and seafood right to your doorstep. Choose from a carefully curated selection of 100% grass-fed beef, free-range organic chicken, and wild-caught seafood. You don't know what it's going to do. And more. Convenience. Every month, ButcherBox ships a curated selection of high-quality meat right to your home. Free shipping for the continental United States. No antibiotics, no or added hormones. Okay? Your daughter can eat a pork chop without getting her period at 7 years of age. Do you know that happens now? There's so many fucking hormones that little girls are getting their periods way earlier than they used to. You know? And where's the story on that? Where's the outrage? Where's cancel culture on pork chops? Nowhere to be found. Nowhere to be found because they're too busy policing comedy clubs. Oh, Jesus. The irony, people. The irony just exposed. Right here. In real time on this podcast. Oh, my God, I'm so deep. Convenience. Every month, ButcherBox ships a curated selection of high-quality meat right to your door. Free shipping for the continental United States. No antibiotics, no added hormones. Packed fresh and shipped frozen. Fresh and frozen. Alliteration. All right? For your convenience. So you can save time on your next grocery store trip. Customize your own box or go with one of theirs. Either way, you can get exactly what you want. It's high-quality meat. Delicious. 100% grass-fed beef. Free-range organic chicken. We already did this. Pork raised. Crate-free. They let those pigs run around before they shoot them in the back of the head. And wild-caught seafood. Unbeatable value, less than $6 per meal on average. Get summer sizzling started with this special ButcherBox deal for our listeners. Free bacon for the life of your membership, plus $10 off. Free bacon. I mean, come on, people. Come on. What are we doing here? Sign up today at butcherbox.com/Burr and use code Burr, B-U-R-R, to get 1 pack of free bacon in every box for the life of your membership, plus $10 off your first order. And that's great. Even if you can't eat all the bacon, you can go around town handing it out. You know, when you die someday, I'll tell you about that guy, you know. He could be a bastard. Not saying he wasn't a bastard, but that son of a bitch always had bacon. He always made sure everybody ate. That's butcherbox.com/Burr and use code Burr to claim this deal. I'm going to start doing that, walking around town like I live in a little town out here in L.A. with my free bacon. Call me old Billy Bacon. Old Bacon Billy coming around the corner. Who wants some? Just holding that lifeless shit, you know? You'd have to fucking cook it first. You can't just hand out raw bacon. Then everybody's got to be wearing gloves. Policy Genius, everybody. You know what that reminds me of? Pee Wee Herman. Pee-wee's Big Adventure when he ran out of the pet store holding those fucking snakes. He's like, ah. I just love that he was such an animal lover that he actually even helped the snakes. He was a good fucking dude. All right, Policy Genius. Big life event coming up. Whether you're graduating from school, planning a wedding, welcoming a baby, or switching jobs, now's the time to protect your family's finances. Policy Genius is your one-stop shop to find the insurance you need at the right place. Head to policygenius.com to get started. In minutes, you can compare personalized quotes from top companies to find your lowest price. I knew at some point the yawning was going to happen. You can save 50% or more on life insurance by comparing quotes with Policy Genius. The licensed agents at Policy Genius are on hand through the entire process to help you understand your options and make decisions with confidence. The Policy Genius team works for you, not the insurance companies. All right, they work for you. Policy Genius doesn't add on extra fees. Policy Genius doesn't sell your info to third parties. Policy Genius has thousands of 5-star reviews across Google and Trustpilot. Policy Genius. This is like fucking your first, like if you were in college and you were taking an advertising class. You know, make sure you keep saying the name. We get it. Policy Genius. Since 2014, Policy Genius has helped over 30 million people shop for insurance and placed over $150 billion in coverages. Head to policygenius.com to get your free life insurance quotes and see how much you could save. All right. There we go. Policy Genius, everybody. And we are free and clear of the advertising. And now let's shit on insurance companies. You know what I hate about those fucking cunts is all they are about is collecting money. They are not about paying shit. It's fucking unreal. That's another group of people that just what they get away with. What they fucking get away with is just off the charts. Nobody gives them any shit. None whatsoever. Where the fuck is all my reads here? All right, I said I was going to talk about sports. So I have a buddy of mine. I love the guy. He's a big time Yankee fan. And I did a gig with him recently, and he was talking about, he goes, the Yankees. He goes, we're the best, because they got 27 championships. Nobody in any other sport has like that many championships. And, I break his balls. And I'm just like, I mean, you guys were the best for the first half of the last century. You kind of slowed down, wouldn't you say? I mean, like, it's just like, I have this thing with like sports that there's in every sport, including basketball with the Celtics, so I'll shit on the Celtics here, all right? Where it's like, we win like 11 championships in 13 years. We win 9 in a row. All right? But you look at the league back then, that's when like 5'11" white guys were all over the place. Wilt Chamberlain wasn't allowed to dunk. You know what I mean? Wilt scores 100 points in a game. No one's ever going to fucking do that. Like, there's always like these ridiculous fucking records. And I just always feel like, it's like, I get it. You won the championship back then, but it's just like, there's so many different fucking variables. To sit there and look at those championships back then, and I'm not saying that winning a championship wasn't winning a championship. I would never say that, but like the sheer amount. Like, take like the Montreal Canadiens that like, they're counting Stanley Cups back when the Stanley Cup was like the size of a mug of beer and you won it when you were playing fucking pond hockey. I'm just saying, you know what I mean? Like, if you look at baseball, like how much the game has changed. First of all, to win a World Series, to win the pennant back then, all right, it's like all you had to do was have the best record in the American League or the National League. And that was winning the pennant. Whoever had the best record, that was it. And you went directly to the World Series. So if you had the best record in the regular season, all you then had to do was win 4 games. Nowadays, there's 30 fucking teams. There's all this nutrition and all of these fucking stats that all of these fucking nerds stick into computers to try to fuck you out of getting a hit. And then you make the playoffs. As a wild card team, you now have to win, 16 games and play a possible 28 fucking playoff games to do it. It's just not the same thing. Of course, nobody's ever going to go on a run like that. Same thing with basketball. Nobody's ever going to win 9 in a row, although the fucking 90s Bulls probably could have won 5 or 6. And to me, that would have been better than winning 9 in the 60s. To win 7. If you won 6 or 7 in the 90s, to me that's more impressive than winning 9 in a row in the inception of a league. So my thing is like, I kind of like categorize shit where it's like, you look at like I always love using this example. Like the last person to hit 400 for the season was Ted Williams. Okay? And he did that in the 1940s. I want to say 1946. I can't remember when. Nobody has ever done it again. Okay? It's coming up on 80 years. Okay? More than 3/4 of a century, nobody has ever done it again. However, if you go the other way and look at it, somebody was hitting 400 like every other year. And if you go far enough back, you'd have a couple of guys would do it in a year. And if you go all the way back to the 1800s, they had like years where 3 guys would hit 400. All right? So all of those fucking records from way back then, all of these home runs, like RBIs, Hank Greenberg had 190 fucking home runs. Nobody's ever going to break that record. Like guys in the 90s, in the 2000s, literally had to do fucking steroids and go up there like a goddamn X-Man to break records done by that were set by people who had off-season jobs. He plays right field for the St. Louis Browns, and during the off-season, he works construction. He hit 400, threw a no-hitter, and had 190 RBI. Like, back then, like, you would fucking literally, like, if there was a double header, it was like, yeah, Bill, you're pitching. It's like the first game, right? No, the whole fucking, all 18 innings. I can't do that. What's the idea? So you're pitching, see? So, I mean, I can only take that shit. Like, you gotta knock it down a little bit. Like, the way I look at it, there's the inception of the league / only white people were allowed to play championships. I mean, don't you think it's kind of weird that the last time somebody hit 400, it was still an all-white league? All right, and then all of a sudden, when the Josh Gibsons and Pedro Martinez, CC Sabathias, and all this great talent from other races is allowed to play, nobody ever does it again, despite the fact that you had guys like Mickey Mantle, Willie Mays, Pete Rose, Tony Gwynn, Wade Boggs, all of these master fucking hitters, George Brett. Nobody ever did it again. I don't know. I just feel, I don't know. There's just something about that. So for me, I kind of look at it in my lifetime. So this is the argument I present to this, my buddy who's a Yankee fan. I just look at it like this. Like, in my lifetime, if I look at, if you're going to say we're the best, we have the most championships, there's sort of like, you know, it's like in tennis, the pre-open era, the post-open era. I have like the pre, it was white guys only, and then the post, now everybody can play, and now we really can see what you're going to do. Okay, and I'm not saying that, like, obviously the Yankees would still have the most, like, World Series and all of that type of shit. And I'm not saying that all of those great Yankees couldn't play in any era. But I am saying, though, they went up against a lot of white pitchers who wouldn't even be in the fucking league because the Pedros of that era weren't allowed to play. But I guess there was less teams. It was an all fucking white league. Give me a fucking break. Look at ESPN. What are you seeing? You see a white guy behind the sports desk? Other than that, it's pretty fucking slim pickings. Sorry. I had to get that out. So, as far as the way I look at it, in my lifetime, and I hate to fucking say this, the most successful franchise in all four sports in my lifetime is the Los Angeles Lakers. They've won 11 titles. All right? And the Montreal Canadiens have won, I think, 10 titles in my lifetime, and then the Boston Celtics have won 8. And the Yankees have won 7. So, there's an argument to be made, like they've been, the thing about the Yankees that I think makes them the best of all time is they've only gone 2 decades where they didn't win a championship over the course of 100 years. That's fucking unreal. That really is unreal. So I'm not saying that they're not the greatest. I don't know. I'm just saying, like, you know, it's kind of like the Celtics. It's like we have 17 titles, so do the Lakers, but we won like 9 of those, 11 of those during the 23 Skidoo years. And then it's also, and I just feel, but then I also feel like the NBA is like rigged in a way where now it's like pile on fucking teams. So then it comes down to weather and level of pussy in your city. I feel like, you know, I mean, who's kidding who? Is like, you know, is Cleveland ever going to have a pile-on fucking team? You know? And there's a bunch of dumb people be like, they had LeBron. LeBron was their guy. That was their fucking guy. So I don't give a fuck that he came back from Miami. That was their guy. It's like nobody is like, the Indiana Pacers are never going to have like a fucking, you know, like LeBron's never going to go to Indiana and then try to get a bunch of people to come out to fucking, you know, South Bend, Indiana, whatever the fuck they play, right? Indianapolis. It's just not going to happen. So I find it to be, it's just sort of a, I know it's a weird thing, whatever. Or maybe it was just my Red Sox were getting their fucking asses kicked and my buddy who's a Yankee fan was talking shit and I just needed to come up with an angle. I just, out of curiosity, Okay? Because then you look at like what do you guys think about that? Because if you look at like football, what I don't understand, and I've said this a zillion times, so I'll blow through this, is how they don't count NFL titles. They just count everything after the merger with the AFL. But there's been plenty of leagues that have merged. Like the fucking NHL has merged like 2 or 3 times with other leagues. Well, they had the expansion 6. I guess that was an expansion. And then they had, what was it, the IHL, where they brought in like the Indianapolis Racers that became the fucking Edmonton Oilers. And they still count all those Stanley Cups, all the way back in the day. But for some reason, like the Green Bay Packers won like 11 NFL titles, and that all just got thrown out. I think if you count NFL titles, then the most successful franchises of all time would be, I think, definitely the Green Bay Packers, and then I think it's the Giants. Because the Giants very quietly won in both eras. They just had a brutal from once they lost Sam Huff and Frank Gifford and all that. Oh, they were also kind of the Buffalo Bills of the 1950s, where they went to the title game 3 or 4 times in 4 or 5 years and lost every time. And then they just sucked in the 60s and 70s, and then fucking a man named Lawrence Taylor showed up, who to this day, I don't think anybody ever looked better in a fucking football uniform than that guy. He just looked like if you drew a football player. Totally changed the position. Did I ever see him live? No, I never did. Fuck. I look back now and I think, why didn't I just get in my fucking car and just drive down, why didn't I drive out to the Odd in Buffalo to see a Sabres game, or go down and go to a Whalers game, or drive down to fucking the Meadowlands and go see the Giants with fucking Lawrence Taylor and Harry Carson? Why didn't I fucking do that? You know why? Because there was no GPS back then. All right? And it was very intimidating back then to drive that fucking far. I don't know where the fuck you had to go to the gas station and get the really big map. Comedians just do bits about that, how you could never fucking fold it up again and you were just completely fucked and you had to squint and point to the road. It was intimidating, that's why. There, I should have gone to the Spectrum. I could have seen Dr. J down there, or at least scalped a ticket. All those years when the Celtics were great in the 80s, I only went to one game, and that was I scalped tickets to go see them play the Detroit Pistons, the bad boys. And, of course, fucking Isaiah Thomas wasn't playing. But I saw the rest of those fucking assholes. All right, anyways, that's the podcast here. I mean, let me know what you think. I mean, I guess for sports history, you gotta count that shit. I actually thought, this is one of the thoughts I had after my smoke alarm woke me up, was, I was just thinking about NFL titles and that type of shit. And you look at the original Buffalo Bills, as far as going to the Super Bowl and not winning, was the Minnesota Vikings. And it's just funny to me that no one ever examines that and thinks why are they so snake bitten? Like that year they were 15-1 and they couldn't fucking lose. And they just had Randy Moss and fucking, was it Randall Cunningham? And they just were fucking electrifying to watch. And they lost to the goddamn Dirty Birds, the Atlanta Falcons. And they just fucking snake bit. Why is it? I have a theory as to why they're cursed. The Montreal Canadiens are cursed because they booed Patrick Roy. They booed him out of their city, and he went on to win 2 cups with the Colorado Avalanche, formerly the Quebec Nordiques, as we all know. Right? And they invited him back years later because they kind of know. Those Frenchies up there, they kind of know that they fucked up. It's like Ryman the Ancient Mariner, but with Patrick Roy. I literally can't even remember the fucking point I was trying to make. Oh, the Minnesota Vikings. So a lot of people don't know this, but the Minnesota Vikings were part of the original AFL. They were an original AFL team. They were down with the AFL. And when the AFL came out, the NFL laughed at the AFL, saying it's an inferior league and all that shit. And they did 2 things to fuck with the AFL. The richest owner was Lamar Lundy, and he owned a team called the Dallas Texans. They had red and white uniforms, all red with the white, outline of the Texas on the side of their helmet. So what they did to fuck with them was they were like, all right, this is the rich. As they said publicly, we're not worried about this league. They did two things to fuck with them before they even started. Was that's what Dallas Cowboys came about. Because they're like, all right, we'll put an NFL franchise in the same city that the richest owner has one, so we'll fuck with half of his gate to hopefully make him go under, and he has the most money, and then everybody else will get disgruntled and leave. And then the other thing they did was they took one franchise. They went to the Minnesota Vikings. For whatever reason, Minnesota, they went to them and they said, hey, do you want to just join the NFL? And Minnesota turned their fucking backs on the AFL and sold out and joined the NFL. Those turncoat motherfuckers, and they have been paying for it ever since. I actually believe that Al Davis probably put a fucking hex on him. And they never made things right with Al. And unfortunately, Al is no longer with us because Al Davis, when the AFL was voting on whether or not to merge with the NFL, because they were seriously hardcore fucking with the NFL. They took a vote, and I don't know how many teams there were. Say there was 10 teams in the league at that point. They agreed to join the NFL on a 9-1 vote. There was only one guy that said, went fucking Tony Montana. He said, fuck the NFL. I'll bury those cockroaches. There was only one owner that said, fuck them. We're not joining. We're putting you out of business. And that was Al Davis. So if he had that type of fucking blood in him, which you know he did, any fucking, older guy that still has a fucking diamond bracelet, you never and wears sunglasses, you don't ever fuck with an old guy that has a diamond bracelet and fucking sunglasses. That guy will carry a grudge until he gets you back. And I'm telling you, I think Al Davis put a hex on the fucking Minnesota Vikings. I think it's the curse of Al Davis. Because I can only imagine what he said. Those motherfuckers. He probably, like, if somewhere out there, the original owners of the Minnesota Vikings has the voicemail that Al Davis left them. You fucking ballless pieces of shit. You said you were all about starting this league and taking the fucking NFL down, and they batted their fucking eyes at you. And what did you do? You folded like a fucking lawn chair. I don't know why. I don't know what he said, but I bet he was like, fuck those motherfuckers. I bet he enjoyed every time they lost the Super Bowl. Wait a minute. The fucking Raiders beat him in Super Bowl 11. Holy shit! And Sammy White went over the middle and he almost took his fucking head off. Oh, God, he must have enjoyed that. There's got to be, somebody must have written something about that. All right, I'm out of time here. That's it. I will read your questions on Thursday because there's a bunch of prog rock shit bands that people were going to be suggesting to me. That is it. I'm just fucking with you guys like Yankees fans and everything, I obviously know you guys, are the greatest franchise of all time. But, like, I'm just saying, because I threw the Celtics in there too. You got to admit, if you won, a dozen championships when it was just a bunch of white guys, don't you think it really would have been more like 8, 7, 6? All right, that's it. All right, go fuck yourselves. I'll check in on you on Thursday.